Roll call. Mongo.
Mike.
Rich.
Mike.
Mike for me too. Mayo.
Mike.
Zap.
Mike.
Team kill.
Mike.
Ion.
Mike.
And hot spurt.
Mike.
Nice. All right, Rich, you're running it. Run away.
All right, welcome, gentlemen. This is the Workups plan, just to kind of clue you guys in on what the Workups are looking like at the moment. We'll be going over that as we go, so plan might change, but this is the basics. So the basic idea is it's a pre-deployment training schedule to establish and maintain proficiency in currency, so basically make sure everybody can do all the stuff they need to be able to do. So that differs from the RAG training that you guys already did, because we're focusing on the mission sets rather than the systems. So now that you know ostensibly how to use, say, the radar, now you're going to learn how to actually perform a particular mission. So that's going to cover your any reattacks that you have assigned to you, because we're training on the mission set, so ipso facto you're using those systems, and that'll cover your reattacks. So the missions are going to look like we're primarily flying out of Nellis, at least for the initial part of it. We're going to use NTTR for live weapons training. We're going to be flying full mock missions as though it's a real deal, and that also is going to give us a chance to develop a little bit more doctrine as we go. That's always something that we're constantly improving, so we're just going to be tweaking that as we move along. So the basic schedule I have right now, the first flight is cap. We're going to do one evolution of that. So we're going to set up cap grinders and protect a given point. For air-to-ground precision strike / escort, that's going to be 2 evolutions. So that'll be Thursday and next Tuesday. So we're going to have one flight fly as strike and one flight fly as escort, and then they're going to switch for the following evolution. For close air support, we're doing 2 evolutions. We'll have a basic CAS interaction where you'll check in at a static range with a JTAC and drop bombs on stuff that's just sitting there waiting for you. And then the second evolution, it'll be a little bit more dynamic scenario of stuff moving around. Then we'll move on to BFM. That's 1 evolution. We're going to fly out as sections, and they'll perform BFM training engagements. Exactly what that looks like, we'll get into when we do that, but we're going to do it the real-world way because it'll be a little bit more interesting, shall we say. Then we're going to move to carrier ops, 2 evolutions, 1 for case 1, 1 for case 3. We'll figure out where in the universe the carrier is going to be for that a little bit later. We've got to talk through on that. And then we're going to do CSAR, and that'll be 1 evolution. So we might do that in NTTR, searching in the desert, or we might go somewhere else to do a maritime CSAR. We're Navy guys, so typically it's going to be blue water when you're looking for people. Or very often it'll be blue water. All right, so what is the end goal for the workups? So obviously all the reattacks will be reattacked. The idea is that the pilots are going to understand the mission sets for cap, escort, strike, CAS, and CSAR. All the nuggets are going to understand their role in flights and their role in missions, and make sure that they can, carry that out with confidence, feel like they actually know what's going on. So the flight and section leads are also going to get to know the nuggets a little bit better, like what is Zap good at, what is Ion good at, et cetera, et cetera. And then they're also going to get a little bit more experience and make sure that they're prepared to actually lead in combat going forward when we actually start the cruise. We also want to make sure everyone's familiar with all of the SOPs, and the SOPs are going to be brought up to date as this evolution goes forward. And then the basic idea is everyone in the squadron is going to be able to perform at our SOP standard. All right, so that's it there, and then we'll move over to what we are specifically doing for this week. So any questions on that?
Wrench, real quick. Do we want to finish Hotspur's graduation before we get into the mission?
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yay.
Okay. So since you've deigned to grace us with your presence today, Hotspur, you get your name. So the way we did it for everyone else was we kind of announced you were dead, and then you were reborn. So Hotspur is dead. Everybody say goodbye to Hotspur.
Bye, Hotspur.
Hi, Hopper.
And everybody say hello to Gossip.
Hey, Gossip.
No idea. All right, I like it.
So there was an OPSEC violation that you were guilty of, where you leaked that Buzz's call sign was going to be Buzz.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And so, because of that momentary lapse in good judgment and sense, you are now forever known as Gossip.
All righty.
Until you do something so stupid, it demands a change.
Has to get it, doesn't it? Yeah.
But that hasn't actually happened, except for in Disarm's case. I think Disarm's the only person who actually got a new call sign after getting their first call sign. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so in Mission Brief, I have posted the link to the next briefing for this week specifically. So I'll give it 20, 30 seconds and then I'll start rolling on that. All right, so this week is Workups Evolution 1 CAP, or Combat Air Patrol. So the basic situation is the USAF aggressors are staged north of Groom Lake Air Force Base. The aggressors are planning to attack aircraft in the vicinity of Creech Air Force Base. We're going to provide CAP cover protecting Creech. So the DLOs for this evolution is obviously CAP in general. We're going to be learning about the CAP grinder and getting those BVR reattacks done. So Combat Air Patrol is sort of the most basic air-to-air mission set. That's where fighters are protecting a given area from enemy aircraft. So that could be, we're doing a CAP to prevent enemy fighters coming in, or we could be protecting an area from enemy air-to-ground assets coming in. So the idea is that the fighters are maintaining maximum on-station time, orbiting a given point. So you're going to be, fuel economic settings and stuff, hanging out until somebody shows up that you got to shoot down. So the fighters are going to attack bandits given a certain ROE is met, and that ROE will be briefed, as you guys have seen, and then that can be updated by higher level assets as the mission progresses. All right, so for the CAP grinder specifically, that's basically a racetrack orbit where sections or aircraft are sort of spread out throughout this racetrack. The idea is that you always have an aircraft pointing in the direction that you expect the enemy to come from. So at least one aircraft is illuminating that direction with the radar at all times. We call that hot. So there's a YouTube channel called Plasma, and they posted a really good video on explaining the grinder. So rather than reinventing the wheel, I'm just going to go ahead and play the video. You may have to click play in your browser when I bring it up if it doesn't play automatically. So I think it's about 2 minutes long, and that explains it far better than I could.
Are we watching anything yet, or is it just quiet and we're waiting?
My screen hasn't changed, and the URL that is clickable just goes to Plasma's channel
Oh,
page.
it didn't go to the next slide.
Negative. Let me refresh.
Working on mine now, I think.
Are you actually watching it in the window, or did you click on your own? I see.
Oh,
it.
here we go. Yeah, so anybody who's still sitting on the slide with the link, just refresh your browser page and that'll pull it up. Wrench, did you just kick back to the previous slide?
Yes.
Okay, try going back forward again.
Yeah, I'm on it right now.
Okay.
I'm done.
Done.
Same.
Same.
Are you not flying tonight, TK?
I am. That's why I was like, rip. I guess I'm not.
That's what I was looking at.
All right, so that still has some bugs to be ironed out. But all right, does anybody have any questions on that presentation?
An
All right,
important thing to remember, guys, is when you're in the grinder, all turns are standard rate. That way, you know how fast each of you are turning on each side of the orbit. Situation depending, of course. I mean, if you're being engaged, then obviously you're going to turn faster than standard rate. But
How do you figure standard rate? Is it on the HUD? I know there's a page, but I don't remember where it is.
it's there's two places you can look on your standby attitude indicator.
Okay.
There's a standard rate turn coordinator
Okay.
at the very bottom of it, but then also I think it's the ADI page on one of the DDIs. That'll also have a standard rate indicator on it.
Okay.
I like to put it
And-
right between the E and the I on HUD of the time. I find that works pretty well.
Standard rate's going to vary depending on your speed. And when you're on a cap station, that video showed both aircraft at Mach 0.7. But really, when you're on a cap station, you are at best endurance until you have to commit to a target. Then you accelerate to, Mach 0.7, Mach 0.8, whatever your pre-briefed combat speed is actually going to be. because especially for Hornets, we don't have a whole lot of fuel. So if we're sitting up there at, at 25,000 feet, Mach 0.8, that's burning a lot of gas. That's going to really hurt our on-station time, especially if we're just turning jet fuel into noise,
Yeah, so that's when you basically, when you get to your cap station, you'll pull up the FPass page and just go to maximum endurance.
Yep. And then you hold that until your flight lead or your section lead commits on a bandit group coming in, and then you'll accelerate to whatever your pre-briefed combat speed is, which is normally somewhere between Mach 0.7 and Mach 0.8.
All right, any other questions? All right, cool. All right, so the basic concept for the mission is we're all going to take off from Nellis Air Force Base and fly to our respective cap points. Obviously, there'll be a flight plan for you, but Sting 1's going to be over grid 4808 Echo, or range 4808 Echo. Sting 2 is going to be over 64 Echo, and 3 is going to be over Alamo Charlie. We'll have a map in a second so you can see what that looks like. So the bandits are going to come from about 100 miles north at flight leader's call, so they can call through the F10 map and or F10 menu rather, and to kick that all off. And then there are air start aircraft available if needed. So if you get shot down, that is also available for training purposes. All right, so the more specific overview, we're going to be stepping at 1530 Zulu. On deck, obviously we want to launch no later than 1545. 15 minutes should be plenty enough time. After launch, we're going to go direct to Creech, or more specifically, direct to our cap waypoints around Creech. Once we're there, we'll establish a good grinder, and then we'll bring in and defeat bandits as flight lead deems ready. And then for egress, we'll be headed straight back to Nellis. All right, so here's the basic map. So we can see here's Sting 1, Sting 2, Sting 3, and then our bandits are going to be coming due north of those. In theory, the bandits shouldn't attack other groups. They should fly directly to assigned targets. Hopefully that works. With the DCS AI, you never really know what's going to happen, but hopefully it'll work out that way. And then again, we've got our cards here. I'm not going to go into a huge level of detail, but as usual, we've got the cards. You'll notice we actually have the Nellis and Creech information for depart, arrive, and alternate. I remembered to do that this time, which is good. Comms card, nothing too special there. Obviously, the air-to-air, we've got Su-27 aggressors. They are loaded for bear, so be ready for defending missiles as well. Remember, they're going to be carrying the ETs, so assume that you are targeted, because those ETs will cause problems if you don't. We also have a KC-130 available for refueling should we need it. And then, as usual, button 4 is going to be our E2C. And no specific NOTAMs for this week, so any other questions before we step?
ET is the heat-seeking missile. Defeat it with flares.
Yeah, it's a long-range heat-seeking missile, so they can shoot it at almost the same range you can shoot the AMRAAM.
Right.
Yeah, there's no defeating it.
Oh.
I
Well,
mean, the timeline defeats it. If
The
you screw up on
timeline
the
defeats it for sure.
yeah, if you screw up on the timeline, you're in trouble. But if you stay on the timeline, you'll be good. All right. Any other questions?
20-mile MAR. Just that's your bare minimum of abort range with those ETs. It's scarier higher up, but 20 is a good solid number. You better be real scared of them at that point.
Yeah.
Do we want to establish a RTB time so that if anybody's grinder iteration starts running a bit late, they don't fall too far behind?
Yeah, I mean, I would say like T plus 80 minutes or so because it's a relatively short flight home.
Roger.
So, yeah, so that would be like, call it, we want to be wheels down at 1700 Zulu in DCS time.
Copy.
That shouldn't be a huge problem. All right, any other questions? All right, cool. That said, we can go ahead and step. I'll get
Flight assignments are in the mission brief.
yes.
If you
Thank
didn't
you.
see it.
Thank you.
And I thought he wasn't flying, but TK and I are Sting too.
Right. Okay. Hold on. That's out of date. Let me
Should
just-
be. We'll just go 1, 2,
Dodge
3.
1 is Sting 1, Sting 1 is Sting 2, and Sting 2 is Sting 3.
Yeah. I mean, I can fix it in very short period of time. Let me fix it real quick, just to make sure that we're good. It also just needs to be done in general, so I might as well do it.
All right, good to go. So, Gossip, Zap, Mayo, with me down in Sting 1.
Present.
All right, everybody's here. All right, so everybody saw the flight assignments or the
Mhm.
position assignments?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I don't really have too much in the way of a specific flight brief. I'm gonna keep, what we covered in the macro brief. Covered pretty much everything. The only small things I want to specify, because there are slight deviations from normal, is step time. I believe Wrench said was 15:30 Zulu in mission. So at 15:55 or at 15:40, I'm gonna start calling the radio checks. So I'm gonna start with COM 1, then go to COM 2, then mids 1, then mids 2. So that's gonna be at 15:40 in mission time. So make sure you got your jet spooled up, all of your navigation set. There should be a bull's waypoint, so make sure you set that. That's going to be really important when we get up into the cap point. And then don't forget to set your data link. Like we talked about in the brief, once we get up to our cap station, we're going to split into sections, and we're going to do most economical. So I'm going to take a look at the FPAS page, see where we're at, and then I'll call it out over the flight net, so that we're all on the same page for our cruise speed while we're up there. We're going to shoot for that 10 to 20 mile separation. And so basically what's going to happen is we're going to ingress towards our cap station waypoint. And then if my section's going to continue on, then Zap, I'll tell you, I'll call over the net. I'll say 3 anchor here, and then we'll keep going, and then at 20 miles, I'll call over the net that we're going cold. Zap, your call is Sting 1-3 turning hot, or however you want to word it. Basically, just I'm
Okay.
going to call saying I'm going cold, you call saying you're turning hot. That way I know that we're not going to be uncovered. And then we'll get a couple of orbits set up. We'll get a couple of laps done in the cap orbit, so we can get a good feel for it. And then whenever I think we've got good and established, I'm going to spawn in the red 4. Any questions?
Yes, altitude blocks. Are we just separating by flights or correction sections?
No, we shouldn't have to separate our altitude by section. I don't know. I'm going to have to see the MDCs to see if there's a specific altitude block for each flight, but we're not going to be in the vicinity of each other, or at least we shouldn't be. So let's plan right now for Angels 2-5. But if we're too heavy to make 2-5 make sense, then we'll flex down to probably Angels 20.
Okay.
So here, the reason there shouldn't be a conflict between the sections is because when you guys are heading downrange from the cap waypoint, we're going to be heading uprange towards the cap waypoint, but we're going to be offset by however far we traveled during our standard rate turn cold. See what I'm saying? So it's going to be 4 or 5 miles, at least. So there shouldn't be any conflict. That being said, whichever section is cold, eyes outside the cockpit, looking for other aircraft, not for bandits that slip through, and also deconflicting. And we're all we're gonna have data link, we're gonna have the Jehemics. So let's use the systems that we've got to make sure we're deconflicting, but it shouldn't be an issue if we have the grinder set up properly. Any other questions? Okay. Let's mute Discord, step to the jets. 1540, I'll call for the check-ins.
Roll left, roll left. Flight controls. Flight controls.
Sting 2, radio check in the red, 161.
Sky U 5x5, 161 in the red.
Roger, have you both on 161 and Discord?
Sting 2, radio check 161 in the red.
Sting 3 has you 5x5.
And Stingrays, be advised, you'll have to use the briefing to see the MDC. They're not on the kneeboard.
Irritating.
XO.
Go ahead.
OPSO XO, you're going to call the radio encryption when ready and hack as well, right?
Affirm.
Charge complete.
Sting 1, Sting 3, radio check 161 in the red.
Sting 3. Oh, man. This stupid bullshit thing. What? Where did... Oh, you gotta be kidding.
Sting 2, Sting 3, have you heard from one?
Negative, have not heard from one yet.
Wow, is that annoying.
One, you up?
Okay, this is a problem. This is a problem.
Actually, I'm going to hold off on that because they might be having issues.
Okay. Sting 3, Sting 1. Radio check. In the red.
MJ has you Lima Charlie, help me.
Lima Charlie. Sting 1 flight, check in, button 1 in the red. Sting 1, 2. You read me button 1 in the red?
Yeah, Mongo, I've got my mids working. My other one's not transmitting for some reason.
Alright, Sting 1-2 checking in on 161.
Sting 1, 2, Sting 1, 1. Got you, Lima Charlie, 5x5 in the red. Sting 1 flight, check in, button 1, comm 2 in the red.
Sting 2, Sting 3, what are we using for field comms? Button 6?
April, move just running on button 6. And Sting 1, Sting 2, be advised, you'll have to use the in-game briefing for MDC. They didn't make it into the keyboard.
Sting 1 copies, had comms, had no Vox. Or had audio, had no Vox. Sting 1-3, Sting 1-4, button 1, comm 2 in the red.
All players, encryption Lima, stand by for hack.
Sting 1, checking in, 161 in the green.
Heavy Lima Charlie, 161 in the green.
Sting 2-2 checking in on 161 in the green.
Flight, you guys got the encryption?
3 set.
2 and 4?
2 is not. I just heard Lima. What else do I have to do? I have it on LD mode.
Negative. So you need to go into the mission card, look at the ramrod, and the number. You got to find the number that corresponds to Lima, and that's what you set the dial on the right to, and then the mode is Charlie. And then you got to make sure it's turned on, not Lima Delta. Lima Delta is load. So if we had a commo guy up in the cockpit who was going to load the KY-58, that's the setting he'd put it to. So it needs to be on.
And those are in mission brief, right? 'Cause it's not on the keyboard.
Correct.
Radio check, 161 in green.
Request refueling. Request rearming.
Copy. Refueling complete. Sting 3, Sting 2 still need time hack.
Sting 3, Sting 1, or Sting 2, Sting 1. No, yeah, 3. Sting 1 also needs additional hack.
Where do I look on the mission cards for the ramrod?
So the ramrod's in the upper left-hand corner of the comm card. And it's formal something.
Okay, I see a formal step. And Lima is what, you go 4 letters in?
Hack, 745 to 30.
5 letters in.
Oh, for the L. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, so the ramrod goes left to right, 0 to 9.
Make sure you all check your board numbers.
Yep, good call.
Fixing that now.
Sting 2-2 checked in the green.
So, Gossip, Mayo, are you guys good on, you got your KY58 set up?
4 is good.
I think so, but I'm still hearing static. I've got it on mode C, it's on, and it's set to 5.
But make sure 161 is going to be on radio 2 because KY58 only works for radio 2.
That would be why. Alright.
Alright, I'm gonna call the check-in on 161 Com 2 to make sure we're all up. Sting 1 flight, check-in button 1 Com 2 in the green.
This is Stingray 2-2 checking in on 161 in the green.
Sting 3, Sting 1 is all in the green. Alright, flight, push button 6, Com 1.
Sting 2-2 radio check in the green.
Sting 1 flight, check-in button 6 in the red. Nellis traffic, Sting 1 flight of 4 F-18s on the southeast ramp, taxiing to the rearming stand. Nellis. One's rolling.
Stingray, or Sting 2-2 checking in on 161 in the green. Sting 2-2.
Three, let 2 out in front of you.
I am.
Roger.
Sting 2, Sting 3.
Sting 3, Sting 1, go ahead.
Hey, for mission time is rebarred from what was brief. Do you want a Rolex 30 minutes and make it 1600C, or how do you want to handle that?
Let's Rolex 1555Z. And at 1554, we'll reevaluate if we got to Rolex 5 more.
Roger that. So we have 1555 launch.
A firm. That's the plan right now. Two, go ahead and pull up a little bit more. Let's make this look like something. Zap, you're good. Little more, too. Little more. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Stop. Ah, a little too much, but that's okay.
Stingrays, you guys just want to go ahead and launch when ready rather than bunching up down here? Copy that. Sting 3 is ready. 1, you hold the hammer.
Sting 3, Sting 1. Go ahead and push. Sting 1 will follow you out.
Affirm. Those traffic, Sting 3, flight 2 F-18, taxiing the runway at 3
Remember
right
too, the
for
nose
departure.
wheel is right underneath your butt.
Yeah, true. It's like right where your seat back is or something.
Yep. Nellis traffic, Sting 1, flight of 4 F-18s, taxiing to runway 03 right for departures. Nellis. One's rolling.
Nellis Sting 2, taxiing runway 03 right for departure, direct Creech, Nellis.
Alright, flight, we're going to take off by sections. 10-second separation between sections 2. I'm going to call set brakes, run them up. And when I say run them up, we're going to go full mill. I'm going to call brakes off, ready now. And at brakes off, ready now, we'll release brakes. And then I will call and burn, and we'll engage the afterburners. Copy?
2 copies.
Nellis traffic, Sting 1, moving into position on runway 03 right for departure. Nellis. Stop there, too. All right, 2. Brakes set. Run them up. And off now. Brakes. And burn. Burner off. And gentle left-hander to waypoint heading.
Three and 4 wheels up.
Roger, we're gonna slow down to 300 and maintain that until you and 4 rejoin 3. Nellis traffic, Sting 1's departing the airspace and changing frequencies. 2, go ahead and switch over to my left side. Actually, where the hell are you? 3, me and 2 are on waypoint heading to our cap point, reference heading 284. As you were, 28, yeah, 284.
3.
Now traffic Sting 2, exiting the airspace, last call, Nellis.
Three's about 1.5 miles your trail.
Copy 3. 2, you visual on me?
I think you're right below me. I'm not sure though. I'm trying to figure it out. I kind of lost you for a second.
Yeah. 2, I have no visual on you whatsoever. I'm completely blind on you.
I think that's because I'm flying next to Mayo, potentially.
Also, I think you keep transmitting on mids 3 when I'm calling you on mids 1.
Yeah, that's probably...
Yep, that was exactly it.
3 saddle right.
Visual on you 3. Or visual on you 3. Two and 4, what's your guys' posit?
Four's about 3 miles back.
I should be somewhere around there with 4. I think I'm in your trail a bit.
Two, make sure you're not forming up with the wrong group.
Yeah, 2, I'm looking at you on data link. I think you're
Yeah,
forming
that's a
up
good
with
shout.
Sting 2.
I am heading towards the waypoint, bearing 285 approximately. I can see you guys on my SA page in front of me.
Sting 2, Sting 3. Yeah, for Sting 3, it looks like you have a setup on a 24060 orbit cap. What's our threat direction? What direction the threat's coming from? Yeah, orient due north, due south. Okay, copy that. All players, Sting 3 on station 1600Z. And Sting 3 will be orbiting 25 block 27.
We're up at Angels 25 heading 285 at Mach 0.65.
Yeah, roger that. I think I was climbing. I'm climbing onto some 4 ship that isn't the right one, but I am on the right heading, so I don't know why I can't see you on radar.
Yeah, you're flying with Sting 2 right now.
Yeah, 1, I got myself sorted out. I can see you guys. You're about 15 miles in front of me right now, so, like, gotcha.
Good copy, 2. We're 23 miles from our cap point, so hurry up. Flight, once we hit the cap point, we're going to turn heading 270, and we're going to slow down to most economical.
And that's going to be a left-hand turn at 270.
Affirm.
Stingrays, be advised, Sting 1 is going to spawn fighters west, Sting 3 spawn fighters east.
Sting 1 copies all.
Sting 3, copy.
Flight, go ahead and fence in.
Three is fence, 12.8.
4 is fence, 12.3.
Do his fence, the number, call what that last number is.
It's your fuel state.
About 12.
It's about 12 or it is 12?
11.7.
Copy. 1's fence, 12.7. Alright. 3, anchor your section here. 1's turning 2702. Fall in with me on a heading at 270. Stand by all for speed. Set speed Mach 0.58. There's some wind on this mission too, so it looks like we're gonna have to offset our heading to the right by about 11 degrees to maintain a track of 270. So Reference heading on the 270 leg is 281.
Three copies, 281. What are you holding for your inbound track?
It's most likely going to be offset 11 degrees to the right again, but I'll announce when I'm turning back, when we're turning back in. 2 miles to turn in. One and two are turning cold, standard rate. 2, I'm in a standard rate left-hand turn, so that should make your rejoin a bit easier.
Yeah, Raj, I've got visual on you now. Standard rate is the 3G turn, 300 knots.
Negative, it's 3 degrees per second.
Okay. So very slow.
Yep, a 2-minute 360. Looks like the inbound track is about 080.
3.
2, you ended up out in front of me. Were you visual on me at all?
Yeah, I was about 3 miles behind you. I was trying to, I don't know, I thought I was going to cut and catch up to you as you came back towards me, but I'll just slow down.
What distance did you go coldly?
20 from waypoint 2. I got 8 to, I have 7.6 back to 2.
Three is 14 to 14 miles, 15 DME.
To push over to the left a little bit and climb up to Angels 2-5. I'm visual on you. You're at my 11 o'clock low. Alright, that's good. Start coming back in. Start bringing the speed up. Reference speed 240 indicated. I'm coming up on your 3 o'clock now. You visual? I'm coming through your 2 o'clock now.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't seen you yet. I know you're around here, though. I can see you on my radar.
Look
okay,
left.
I got visual. I got visual.
Turning cold.
Roger, 1's turning hot. Alright, I'm holding standard rate, so just slot in off my, or go ahead and slot in off my right wing. And rolling out.
Is Sting 2 going to be dealing with these guys out to the north?
Roger, those are Sting 2's targets. Or Roger, those are Sting 2's targets. And 1 and 2 are in hot. You still visual on me too?
Yeah, I'm right behind you. I'm really slow accelerating. I didn't want to use my afterburners.
Established hold.
Roger, are you guys heading back to the waypoint, or are you heading tracking 090?
We're tracking 080. We can make it 090 if that's better.
Well, no, you're heading 080 but tracking 090.
Oh, APR.
Okay, good copy. Yeah, I'm visual on you.
These bandits to our north are actually getting pretty close.
Two, kill your lights.
They're within 50.
Yeah, that's not great. Alright, me and 2 are going to turn to engage. Yeah, they're 30. We're going to turn to engage. You support us.
Turn left. Go attack.
2, accelerate, attack speed. Alright, there's one danger close. Let's get out of here. 3, there's one right behind me, and 2. We're cold, heading down.
Fox 3, hostile target 051, 26, 33,000, Big 29.
Two, I'm down Angels 1-7. Let's keep the burner on. We're gonna turn hot and start and support 3 and 4.
Roger. I'm at Angels 9.
Fox 3, defensive.
3, visual your flares. Pressing your bandit. Looks like someone's going down. Missile in the air.
Splash 1.
One's turning cold. Blind on the bandit. Two, visual on you. I got him. He's up above me. One, Fox 2. Close. Watch my 6-3. Fox 2 again. Short. Splash.
Good kill. Flow 180.
Flow 180.
I'm committing. I'm bad. I think that I'm going to
Two, what's your posit?
Sting 3-1, got splash on your target.
Sting 1-1 in on Sting 1-3's attacker. Come on. Missile in the air, missile in the air. One's defensive. Sting 1-1 defensive.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
Sting 1-1 missile defeated, re-engaging. Or not. Oh boy, that sucked. Oh, jeez. Where in the hell was he? Where in the hell was Hotspur? I called for him and heard nothing. Flight, this is 1. Who's up?
3. 4.
2, are you up? I see you on data link. Oh, there was that problem. Sting 1-2, Sting 1-1. Are you up? Sting 1-2, Sting 1-1. Button or 161 in the green. Two, this is 1. You hear me?
Raj.
Alright. I think I'm visual on you. My 12 o'clock. Your Angels 2-4?
Confirm.
Roger, I got you 5 miles in front of me. Go ahead and anchor in place, and that'll help my rejoin.
Raj, I got a bogey about 10 miles in front of me.
Yeah, that's the enemy AWACS.
That's not positive.
Stand by. 3, I'm 17219 from the cap waypoint.
I should be about 10 miles in front of you, heading north at Angels 25.5.
Roger, I'm working a rejoin with 2, turning through 290 right now. Alright, I'm visual on both you guys. You're my 9 o'clock for about 30 miles. Sting 3, Sting 1, go ahead. Let's try and bring him home if we can, but if you get jumped, go ahead and drop him.
And just for SA, 3 is 1x2, 8.7, and out of fuel.
Copy 3.
So I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the AI did not do what it was supposed to do.
Sting 1 had a feeling. Go ahead and stay flying 180 for now. Did you copy?
Yeah, sorry, I got distracted by the other radio. What was the last part?
Oh my god. Hold your present heading. I'm going to rejoin on you. Two, what's your smash?
250.
Copy. Two, is your smash still 250?
Yeah, affirmative.
Okay, roger. Two of your burners are on. 1 votes RTB.
3's gonna definitely need the RTB.
Alright, 2. Go ahead and get on my wing, and then we're going to rejoin with the rest of the flight.
Alright, 2 is with 3. 1, if you guys want to RTB, 2 and 3 can only spawn their fighters. I'll look it up.
Alright, gentle right-hand turn.
3 has contact, bullseye, 336, 46, 36,000, track west.
Sting 2, Sting 1, standby. 3, what's your state? Are you in 4 still, Mike Charlie?
Is still mission capable, but I'm at 7.9, so it'll have to be a 1 and done.
Copy. Myself and 1, or myself and 2, we're working our way back to you. We're 3-7 from the cap point.
3's visual. I'm about 2.5 miles from the trail.
Roger. Is 4 still up too?
Yes, but I went blind on you one.
Roger, 4. Yeah, I don't see you on data link either.
What's your altitude?
Angels 2-4. Sting 2, Sting 1. We're gonna head back to our cap point, and we're gonna assess from there.
One, 4 required. I should go look in front of me.
And Sting 2 is established at our further forward cap point.
3 saddle right.
Gotcha, 3. Two, you still back there? You disappeared on me.
Yes, I burned off.
Say again, 2, the last part cut out.
I burned off too much speed accidentally, so I'm trying to catch.
Copy. Flight push button 4, comm 1. Sting 1, check in button 1 in the red.
Copy.
Adjustment right. Sorry for the late notice. All right, 3, 4. What's your fuel state and weapon state?
3 is 1 by 2, 7.5.
4 is 2 by 2, 11.5.
Copy. 2, what's your fuel state?
All players, Sting 3, off station, RTB, home plate.
Say again, 2. I think Sting 3 cut you off.
I'm fuel state 12.3. It's a fresh plane, so I'm 2 by 2, 12.3.
Copy. Sting 3, Sting 2, or Sting 1.
Go for Sting 2.
Sorry, I meant Sting 1 calling Sting 3. Misspoke.
Go for 3.
3, 1. Are you guys headed to the house to debrief, or you rearm refuel coming back out?
Yeah, I'm gonna head to the house and call it a night for my early go vote.
Roger. 1 out.
Sting 2 has agreed to do the same if Sting 1 wants to call it there.
2, 1. I'm thinking. 'Cause we're gonna have a lot to debrief on this side.
Sting 2.
All right, guys, let's take it back to the house. All players, Sting 1 flight is RTB back to home plate. Go ahead and fence out flight and bring it back into admin cruise.
3 is fenced out, 7.3.
4 is fenced out, 11.3.
2's fenced out, 12.1.
And 1's fenced out, 11.8. Push button 6, comm 1. Sting 1 flight, check in, button 6 in the red.
Sorry.
12 X-ray. All right, let's bring it right. We got 70 miles back to Nellis. 2, on our way back to Nellis, I want you to work on holding a good formation off my left wing, all right?
We're going to go ahead and hold over Nellis, so we're going to end up flying directly over you guys as you're coming in. We're going to get there at about the same time.
Roger that. Currently, we're just inside ARCA. We're going to go straight into 2-1 left, and descending out of Angels 2-1.
Stick to the same.
Sting 2, Sting 1. We're visual on you. We're 4-5 from the Tekken. Sting 1's going to plan to be number 3 for landing.
Are we going to do section landings, or are we going to split off or do an overhead?
We'll do straight in by section. Nah, we're Navy guys. We'll do overhead break.
Yay.
Let's come left some to start getting ready for the pattern. Nellis traffic 537 is inbound for the overhead on 2-1 left, holding hands with 511, 556, and 527. Nellis traffic. All right, let's start downhill.
Stingray 547, checking in on 16250. 547.
We're going to go down to about 5 degrees angle of descent. Doing all right back there, too?
Yeah, just trying not to overshoot.
Roger. Now let's increase our rate of descent a little more. Let's go down to 7 degrees. And I'm going to come off the throttle some so we don't get going too fast. I'm going to stay just above idle. Man, it looks like the Air Force is coming into land over at Nellis.
Shooting straight ins.
That's what it looks like. I don't know, maybe Sting 2's doing an overhead.
I know Sting 3 called for overhead. You want us to go echelon right?
Almost. Because we got a left-hand turn coming up, and that's going to force some guys kind of close to the ground. I don't necessarily want to do that yet. Alright, well, we're basically echelon right anyway, so yeah, go ahead. Let's come off to the left a bit here, and then we'll do a sweeping right-hander so that you guys stay far enough away from the ground. All right, let's take it down to 350 knots. Start our right-hand turn. Also, don't forget, let's take it down to 350. We'll start this right-hand. Don't forget to safe your radars if you haven't.
And don't forget to call out for Nellis traffic.
Nellis traffic 537 holding hands with 511, 556, and 527 is turning onto the upwind for the overhead runway 21 left, 12 miles DME Nellis traffic.
Altitude. Altitude.
All right, looks like we got a couple of guys in the pattern in front of us.
Nellis traffic, Sting 21 and Sting 22 are turning clear of the active now.
Nellis traffic, Sting 23 and 24 are 1 mile final runway 21 left.
Nellis traffic, Sting 1 flight of 4 is 3 miles at 1,000 feet, runway 21 left for the overhead.
Sting 3, did you guys count your parking spaces?
Sting 2, this is Sting 3 to, yes we did.
See ya. Nellis traffic 537 is downwind, runway 21 left to land, full stop, Nellis. Nellis traffic 537 is turning base to final, or downwind base to final, runway 21 left to land, Nellis.
Nellis traffic, Sting 2, 3, and 4 clear at runway 21 left on
Oh, not good.
Nellis traffic, runway turning downwind base to final runway 21 left.
Oh. I think 537 broke some teeth.
Nellis traffic, Stingray 1-4, turning base final, runway 21 Nellis. Wish, wish, wish,
Make sure you guys get on the brakes in time. I had some trouble stopping in time.
Post traffic in 1-2 turning final.
Well, you know, it's a good thing I'm not streaming this or anything. Jiminy Christmas.
King 1-2 will be exiting for Langston.
537, clear the active at Alpha, Nellis. Golly, that was awful. That would have definitely broken the airplane. And that, kids...
King 1-2, clear the active full range for Richmond.
Oh, he overran. And got...
Landed too hard. I don't have nose wheel steering. Marking out here in this field.
Yeah, Roger, I see you. Or, yeah, I see you too. Let's go ahead and shut down there. We'll tow the plane back.
I landed for 5,500 pounds.
Nice. Alright, once you guys are all shut down, let's head up to the wardroom. Oi, oi, oi.
Oh, my butt.
Glad to get the headset off my face.
Yeah. So gossip.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's gonna take me a second to get used to the.
Well, you flew an approach. The one I saw is you flew an approach at Mach 3. You literally flattened your spine on the landing, and then you ran long, stopped in the dirt, and said, screw it, I'm just going to shut down here.
Yeah, no, I trashed my landing gear, so I couldn't steer after I was down.
Yeah, okay. I thought that was funny. Just like, screw it, I'm just shutting down. I'm done.
I wish the if you could do the head tracking where you could just have the head like collapse onto the, just like head down on the control board there.
Yeah.
Right.
In fairness, Cobb, I told him to shut down there because he couldn't steer anyway.
It's fine. I just thought it was really funny. Yeah. Come on. Die with fire.
All right, is that everybody?
Yeah, that's everybody. Man, I gotta say that was pretty cool. Like apart from the obvious stuff that didn't work.
Thing one, having to look at the guys to the north, like, hey, maybe we should start engaging these guys.
Right, and I'm sitting there thinking, well, I haven't spawned our guys in yet, and they're not supposed to be engaging us, so... And then I looked at the SA page, like expanded it out, and lo and behold, there's three or four SU-27s flying straight at us. They're like, oh, yeah, we should engage this.
Yeah. Basically, you're like, I don't know, they're not supposed to. Let me look at the SA page.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that was pretty
Well,
exciting.
Cobb and I were sitting over there on like the eastern side of everything going like, I don't think those are ours either. We're just going to engage the easterly targets of this and move on with our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, we turned into
Ain't nobody
support you
got
guys.
time for that.
Like as soon as it became clear that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. But, we were just so out of position by the time we got there, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyway, to start the official debrief.
All right. So, usual round robin around. Don't rehash. Just the basic ground rules to remind everybody. Don't rehash things that have already been said. Short, sweet, to the point, so this doesn't drag on for 2 hours. And we'll start with the flight leads. Mongo.
Okay, so, startup, taxi out, and take off. That all went more or less okay. Got out to our cap point and started setting up our grinder, and that went more or less okay. We actually had it set up pretty well. As soon as we hit the cap point, I slowed down to most economic as briefed, and that worked out really well. Initially turned heading 270, then realized there was wind. And so we offset somewhat to kind of make up for the drift and make sure we were staying on our 270-090 track. And it didn't end up being much. It was maybe 10 degrees left and right, depending on which direction we were going. And I noticed after I had turned cold and was heading back east, I had turned cold at DME 20 from our cap point, and as I'm crossing DME 11 or so, DME 11, 10.5, Zap and Mayo are crossing my 3-9 line hot. So
yeah, I noticed that too. Actually, that was pretty cool.
yeah, so we were set up damn near perfect on exact opposite ends of the grinder. And then when I turned back hot and Zap and Mayo turned back cold, that's when Zap drew my attention to those bandits that were within 50 miles, and I took a look and went, oh, that's not spectacular. And things went a little bit foobar. Things went a little bit foobar after that. So the pros and cons of the whole thing is Mayo and Zap, you guys were, at least from my perspective as flight lead, you guys were Johnny on the spot, exactly where you were supposed to be all of the time. I would expect you to be somewhere. I would look, and you guys were right around there. Gossip, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. At no point, at any point tonight, were you where you were supposed to be when you were supposed to be there. I know you haven't flown in a couple weeks, but tonight really highlighted a lot of the stuff that you might want to think about working on over the next few days. Specifically formation flying, keeping your SA, and being able to compartmentalize, especially when there's a lot of comms going on the radio. You know, at one point, we were trying to effect a rejoin, and I had called over the flight net for you to just maintain your heading, or turn to heading 180 and just maintain that, and I was going to rejoin on you. And as I'm watching you, as I'm tracking you, as I'm coming around my turn, it looks like you're still turning, but I wasn't entirely sure. And then eventually you were still on my vector line, heading now like due north or something. And when I called you up and said, hey, confirm heading 180, you had told me that you were distracted by the comms on the radio and didn't hear the initial call. And that's unsat, to put it bluntly. So really work on that as we keep going through these flights. And practicing your downtime, again, and we've said this countless times since the beginning, really. Anytime during the week, ping everyone, hey, who's flying? And someone almost always is. If Cobb's not flying a real airplane, he's in DCS. Bookworm's on most nights. Most of the guys are available at least one night a week. So I want you to really focus on working on that. Other than that, I broke my spine on landing, but didn't break the landing gear, although I thought I did. So that was almost embarrassing. But that's about all I got, Wrench.
Oh, yeah. So as far, let me get some mission stuff out of the way. So some of the instructions, as usual, were a little unclear in the brief. I should have specifically said that we're going to be doing our cap oriented north-south. Because I was like, the bandits are going to come from the north, which to me was like, that means you're going to orient north, but it would have been wise to spell that out specifically. And then, of course, the AI didn't behave itself, whatever, mission stuff, blah. As far as my flight went, it was pretty fucking rock solid, actually. So Buzz, as usual, did a really good job as a section lead, out there, just helping me to share that workload a little bit. And so when we turned, so we did it where, as we're coming up to our cap point, we were headed west. So I had him turn right because he was on my right side, and then we turned left. Held those headings, due north, due south for 30 seconds. Then did a standard rate turn, which takes 30 seconds. And then it takes 30 seconds for us basically to merge with each other. And then we would hold for another 30, turn for another 30, go straight for another 30, merge over and over again. So we kind of worked that out. Like halfway, I briefed, we're going to hold 30 seconds and see what happens. And then Buzz was like, hey, this is working out perfectly where we merge on the minute, we turn on the 30, and it keeps all the numbers really easy. So that worked well. I also flubbed it where I went, I think it was almost 20 seconds over on a straight leg while I was trying to handle radar and other shit. So then we just like, all right, well, what we'll do is we'll just go by the numbers as though we didn't fuck up and see what happens. And the timing corrected itself, which was really cool. Yeah, so as far as the grinder, that was definitely by far the most successful grinder, to my knowledge, that Stingrays have ever attempted. So that makes me happy. That video, I just happened to stumble upon it earlier today, and dear God, was that helpful. Yeah, other than that, I think Sting 2 was really solid. No more than the amount of communications and corrections that I would expect, where rather than saying, hey, instead of doing that, do this, or, hey, you're screwing that up. The only thing I had to say was informative, telling them what I'm doing, and directive, telling them what I wanted them to do. And other than that, didn't have to communicate anything else. So that made me really happy.
All right. Finishing up with the flight leads for Sting 3. Just for everybody, and not just you guys, so based on the comments earlier. Flying with TK, who's been with us for a while, he's always exactly where he needs to be. So you have to understand the flight lead is thinking through the game plan of how they're going to prosecute the targets. And in our case, we had 3 targets hot on us, and one was obviously going after our AWACS. So I broke TK off to go prosecute that, and I took the 2 others more to the west. It ended up and worked. He downed his, I downed both of mine. Took 4 AMRAMs to down 2 of mine, but with ETs out there in the battle space, take no chances. Neither one of us got any shots on us. Textbook maneuvered back into space and then tried to do a second engagement. I actually spawned 2 more. They never showed up, and I went after the AWACS for a hot minute and then decided probably that's not our objective. So RTB'd with no issue at all. The timing all worked out great. So the few things from my aspect taken away is great comms from the flight leads. I knew what the other flights were doing. Great comms. I wanted to hear more. We had 10 airplanes out there, and I wanted to hear more big voice shot calls. What's going on that I'm not aware of, that my radar's not caged on, or maybe that I don't have sight of. It gets very busy, but yeah, call your shots, call your bullseyes, let everybody else know what's going on, because there's a concept in capping or airspace defense called lanes. And what they invented this during, I think it was during Desert Storm or shortly before. You stay in your lane and you defend that lane. The problem becomes when a bandit crosses from your lane to the guy next to you, the flight leads have to communicate that, or AWACS, C2, whoever you've got. And so that's more of a master's level course, but having your wingmen exactly where they need to be and all the timing and all the good things that have been said, it really, really helps the flight leads prosecute a game plan. So Other than that, I don't have anything else for Sting 3. It was just textbook. This was an easy one. So, tell me I wasn't on mute that whole time. Okay.
No, you're
Got
good.
everything.
Okay. Do we want to hear quickly from the rest of Sting 1?
Absolutely. Gossip. You're up.
Yeah, not much to add. I mean,
Okay. Fair enough.
it was cobwebs. I was dusting off the whole time, and there was not flying very well. So.
Yeah, and that's to be expected. You know, we know your situation. That's, you know, but as Mongo said, you know, do work on it because we need you to help prosecute the game plan with the flight lead. And,
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Buzz, think you were number 3?
No, that was me for 1-3. But yeah, I see that we're watching me right now on TK's TAC view. We went up. When we decided to turn north, I got nothing to really add up into where we committed on a hostile to the north there. It just kind of worked out that Mongo and Gossip were farther north than us, so we had like about a 10-15 mile offset built in when we all turned hot at the same time, which worked out for me at least, and Mayo, I think. No, Mayo down early, but yeah, so that kind of worked out. 3 AMRAMs, 2 hits. I went through every single one of my flares defending there because I thought I saw some missile plumes, but I ended up not really too much to add outside of that. So
Okay.
yeah.
And Mayo, you were 4?
Yeah, and I think I didn't use enough flares, at least on that last ET that caught up with me. But otherwise, nothing much to add.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the TAC view. I didn't realize it came that close.
Yeah, I had nothing else really to add to the discussion.
Okay. I think Ion, you were 2, a Sting 2?
No, he was 4. It was Dolby.
That was me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add. Wrench hit at all. We actually never got to shoot at our bandits. So
Oh, you didn't?
No, we just flew our circle, dude.
Turned dinosaurs to noise?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, what happened was the AI didn't behave, so our bandits immediately attacked Sting 1. So we turned into support, and by the time we got there, we got within missile range right about the time that Sting 1-3 went in for that heater shot. So then we couldn't shoot.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody else had a bandit like desyncing over across their radar screen, but I was getting that too.
I saw that as well.
Yeah, he was bouncing between -2 and Angels 15.
Yeah.
Same.
Also, I had a weird bug. I don't know if anybody else has had this, but when I went to encrypt, it was encrypting radio 1.
Oh,
and
That's odd.
It
Yeah,
was
it's
odd.
super weird.
And it never worked, even with the correct frequency and encryption key on my radio 1. I would get you get the beep when you hit the button, but I could communicate on it, but I couldn't hear anything on it, just static.
Could have been a flub within SRS. I've had that where it's just sometimes it loads up and it just loads up weird.
Yeah, I restarted SRS in the middle of it. It didn't fix it. I don't know. There was an SRS update today, so I don't know if that fucks
Well,
it
yeah.
up or not, but
Were you was
We're still on the
Radio
stable,
2
I think.
encrypted? Were you able to talk and hear and be heard on Radio 2 with the encryption running?
I could be heard, but I couldn't hear.
Yeah,
radio static.
Yeah, his Radio 2 wouldn't encrypt at all, and then his Radio 1 was encrypting, but like only one way. It was like super weird.
Yeah, maybe SRS just had a stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
Anyway,
that's all I
and
got.
then Buzz was 3.
All right, moving on to 4. No, go ahead, Buzz.
All right. So from the flight, it was amazing. Very well done from everybody. On my personal end, I'm struggling with the use it and lose it thing, so I definitely got to go back. I've just got a list of things I need to reattack with the timeline using that, and then in-flight comms. That's something I personally struggled with, but still managed pretty well. And then the flight, in terms of actually engaging, we were going in. We saw that they were basically furball, the ones that we were supposed to go after. With the Sting 1 flight, I think it was. So I was coming in and trying to just make sure I knew they were friendlies really close. I didn't want to risk a 120 shot, try to go for a heater shot on it. I saw that. He spun around. I never saw that missile. I think it was a 73, right? So smokeless. Yeah, so I never saw that missile. Just took it straight to the face. My 9X missed. And it went on to fly really close to Zap.
That was me, yeah.
Yeah, coming in through the other end. So that was my engagement, the beginning and end of it. And then
I tried to come and help there, but
yeah, it was just a really tough situation. We're on either end of this guy. He was weaseling around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where that ended. Oh, motherfucker! Something just bit my foot. Oh, never mind. It's a wasp. Why is there a wasp? God damn it!
I thought he was reenacting when he took a missile to the face.
I thought he was
know, that's
too.
what I
That
thought.
was great. Yeah. Oscar.
Did you seriously just get randomly fucking stung by a
I just got
wasp?
stung by a wasp on my foot. God. Ow.
Dude, hey,
Dude, your reaction to that missile shot was amazingly realistic.
Press F to pay respects.
Right.
Oh, what do you do after you get stung by a wasp? You put ice on it?
Ice
on it?
ice.
Okay.
Yep.
Cry
Alright.
like a little girl.
And take an
I'm
ibuprofen.
crying.
Yeah,
Alright,
somebody
I'm
sick of
gonna
poison
go
out,
do
dude.
all that.
And
The
change
end.
your tampon.
Oh man, I was so scared it shot out.
Harsh. Wow. Oh my god.
That's fucked up.
Okay. We're still streaming?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Nice. Okay.
All right. So that said, Ion.
Takeoff was good. I stuck with my flight lead. I was task saturated to where my essay pretty much included my flight lead, and that's about it. I was paying attention to waypoints and headings, and obviously speed and things like that. But I need to get with hot spur and whiskey and just practice. I did get a shot off, but like Buzz said, one of Sting 1 was in there too close and didn't want to take an AMRAAM shot. And when he turned away, I did get a Fox 3 off, but the Bandit was already, splashed after I shot.
Ion, random heater shots across your lead's nose is not necessarily a projection of power.
I lost complete SA on lead in that furball. I had no idea. I mean, I could see him on
Now,
the SA page, but
that's fair because in a furball, you're fighting the threat. You're not paying attention to lead. So that's absolutely what's going to happen in a furball. You're going to lose. You're just A, shooting the bandit, and B, trying not to die.
Right.
And nobody cares what else is going on outside of those two objectives.
yeah, I'd still like to know when I lose him rather than suddenly looking around and going, where the hell's lead? So yeah, I got a lot of SA to work on, but it's one of those things where it just gets better incrementally, and then you look back and you're like, holy shit, I just did that, and I'm not there yet.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I will say this, Ion. I just want to point out that you were pretty much where you were supposed to be the whole flight. So I know you're still feeling really task saturated.
Right.
But it wasn't that long ago that you were task saturated and off in La La Land with no idea where your flight is. So
much like an Ion.
Right. So
no kidding.
Now you're task saturated, but you're able to maintain that position, and that makes you more effective, even if you still feel task saturated. So there is progress being made there.
Yeah.
It's getting better. There is progress for sure.
I just, it's not as fast as I'd like. It's not as, as much as I'd like. But yeah, I can see a huge difference between me 4 months ago and me now. but I still have this level of, anxiety and overhead that it's getting better. So
Yeah,
I
okay.
just need to spend more time. So Hotspur, I put a message in general, buddy. Let's find a time to get together, and you and me can bootstrap each other.
Also, Hotspur is dead.
I was just
Gossip.
about to say that. I was about to be like,
Gossip.
point of order, Hotspur's dead, but
Who
Gossip's
is
here.
this Hotspur you speak of?
Yeah, I've
All
never
right.
heard of Hotspur. Never heard of it.
And Gossip Girl, I am sorry, but you're gonna get
Oh,
Girl.
shots fired!
Uh-oh.
Shots fired!
I'm sorry,
just
gonna
gonna
think that in my
Ion
head.
the Fox 3.
No, that's what I thought.
CO is stepping out of the room, and whatever happens, happens.
Nobody sees a thing. I had
We'll
it coming. Fair
we'll
enough.
sort it out in the hospital.
Brother, like I said, you and I need to get together and up our game. Whenever you want to, let's do it.
Yeah, sure, man.
So
Okay.
anyway, that was me. I landed, didn't bend the bird, got some great screenshots. Yeah.
So, guys, look back at the mission in the macro and how much better this was than the end of last year. It's organized. The comments are good. Progress has definitely been made, and there's always more to do. Always more to do, but this feels like a squadron that's trained and worked together for 3 months, 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
So it's getting much better. And when we go out in the world and expose ourselves to wherever, when we go dominate, hog it, because I know that's our ultimate objective, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you can.
I want to clean those guys, the floor with those guys.
We can wear the colors with pride because everybody's going to be doing what they're supposed to be doing, and we're going to dominate, which is a really good thing, and what we're trying to work for. So, well done, everybody. Well done. There's more to do. There's always more to do, even for myself. But I'm sure TK's sick of the. Why is he turn right? I swear to God, he said left. Whatever. So yeah, congratulations to everybody. We'll keep going down the path as Wrench outlined in the brief. So
I feel, in hindsight, I feel we're actually pretty good because Gossip and I started literally from scratch. Neither of us had ever started up the F-18 before we started training with you guys. So yeah. I mean, I know we've got a ton, a metric crap ton to work on, but yeah, like you said.
But the fact that you guys can get the bird started now, get the navigation set up, get the radios tuned.
all that admin stuff, even. Yeah.
Those are all the important foundations on which everything else is built. That's why we spent 5 or 6 weeks just going over how to start the bird and then fly in a straight line with the occasional turn. Because that's the foundation. And so, you guys have all come a really long way in 12 weeks, and it shows. There's just now we're getting to the phase where the
implementation.
Yeah, where the implementation becomes the goal, and so the standards go up, for lack of a better term. 12 weeks
Absolutely.
12 weeks ago, most of you guys had never really even set foot in the F-18 outside of maybe an instant action mission or a couple of the tutorials. So there were
let alone flown in a mission where there are 3 separate flights with comms going on and everything else.
Exactly.
Yeah, and a lot of guys, it's not just conversion training, like it's jet training.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal.
Exactly.
Well, these days I find myself asking, okay, what do I do? And then you tell me and I do it, rather than what do I do? Okay, how do I do that? I'm not asking, okay, how do I do that so much? I'm still asking a lot, what do I do? Where am I? How does this work? But then you tell me and I know how to do that.
Right. Ion, here's the secret.
Yeah.
Asking what do I do is literally your job.
Good. Then I need a promotion. to Nugget first class.
No.
So-
See, if you get promoted, then you're not allowed to ask what do I do most of the
That's
time
true.
anymore.
You lose
I'm
the
fine
Teflon
right where I
coating.
am. Fine right where I am. No promotion needed. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, you guys have all, just kind of rounding out my thought, you guys have all come a really long way. And the upside of that is, you know, you get to do more complex stuff. The downside of that is you are having to do more complex stuff and the standards get stricter. Because now there's an expectation of you're not completely green in the airplane anymore. You know where the systems are, you know the basics of how to set them up. So now we get into the more advanced stuff. So,
And it seems a lot of this may seem like repetition, but it's necessary because doing the BVR timeline, setting up your AMRAM, setting up your bombs, doing everything needs to be quick, fast, and without a lot of thought, because your thought process should be on the tactical situation. Programming bombs or, you know, whatever else you're doing, admin creep inside the cockpit needs to become second nature without thought. And that's what we're trying to get to. And that's the point that January to April 5th or whatever the date was, that's what that was doing, was working you toward not thinking about pushing the UFC or, you know, punching encryption. And that will get a lot better.
And everybody's going to have a bad day. Gossip, today was your day in the chute. Next flight, it might be Zap, or it might be Ion, or it might be me, or Wrench, or TK, or Cobb. Everybody's got a day in the chute. So, when it's your day, it is what it is. You know, just don't. I don't want you guys getting down on yourselves if you take a little bit of an ass chewing
don't
because
beat
you were
yourself
ate up
up
from
over
the
it.
floor up. You know, it's just, it is what it is. Go out
All
and
of
fix
it's
it.
fixable.
And, yeah. And like I said earlier, you know, all you got, everybody's, someone's always flying. So if you got the day off from work and you got some hours to kill, ping in general. Hey, who's flying? And chances are somebody might be. If it's during work hours, but you
hit or
know,
miss.
Yeah, hit or miss. It depends on if Cobb's flying or like in real life or not.
My 3 days a month.
Right, yeah, because he's got that
thing to
cushy
remember-
corporate 135 job.
The thing to remember there is that admin has the ability to restrict the various roles from using at everyone and have deliberately chosen not to do so. There's a reason behind that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. There's
And I
a
just
reason
decided
why
what-
even with like 20 people, I think not right now. I think we've got like maybe 13 total, but there's a reason why everybody from, even when you guys were provisional, you could still at everybody. And that's because the only way you get better is by flying. And it's more fun with a friend. So
Yeah,
use
buddy.
Use that tool.
Yeah, it is. Using that tool every day, every night.
Cobb.
Oh, what?
All right.
No, what?
That said, I think enough said on that. All right, Cobb, you want to call the bar? I need a cigarette.
Hang on, we need to wait for him to get back in here.
Well played, sir.
I hate you guys.
Did anybody not get a debrief?
No.
What?
I didn't.
Hey, TK, you didn't get a debrief, did you?
No.
Yeah. No. Do you want one? Do you need one? You feeling it?
Oh, that's too bad.
No.
Bar's open.
Yeah, the bar's open.
Man, poor TK. He doesn't get a flight assignment at first, and then he just gets skipped into DC.
I know, dude. It's like,
Yeah, well, you know, he's TK for a reason.
Yeah.
You're dead
At
to
least
us.
he didn't.
TK
At least he
is a
didn't
two-way
spawn.
street.
At least he didn't spawn an SA-10 in the middle of everybody this time.
Right.
Didn't
well,
even spawn anything.
See, that's the thing. TK goes both ways because he kills us, but it also is that the team kills him.
You want to rethink
so-
the way you just expressed that? TK goes both ways.
Nope.
No, I definitely do not. So with
Okay.
that, that is a good juncture to say that we should probably end any running streams.
Wow. Yeah.
So
Please do.
to the 0 people that are watching my stream, thank you
There's-
for watching and have a nice night.
There's 2
Actually, I
people
think
watching
my pops.
mine.
Yeah, I think my pops is on yours, Mongo.
Oh, neat. Which one's your dad?
I don't know. I was the only one who commented, so but I don't see who is watching yours.
Somebody comment. Oh yeah, look at that.
That was me.
I didn't even get pinged. Either way, hi TK's dad.
You guys are talking about Twitch, right?
Despite what you've heard, we're actually okay.
Except
I love how we talked about TK swinging both ways for a second there with his dad in the stream.
Oh, it's cool.
His dad already knows, man. He raised him.
Well played.
If you guys know my last name, you will understand that joke more than you probably should.
Oh, we do.
Inside jokes.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, he's smoking.
What?
All right. I got nothing else to really add. I think Cobb and I did a miraculous job on this execution here because I took the bait.
Hey, man, Jesus, bar's open. Stop debriefing.
Oh, this is a brag in the bar instead.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I became bait and he executed on the bait properly. So
I just didn't want to listen to him brag.
it actually went really well.
Wow.
There it is.
I just didn't want to listen to you brag, TK.
I only get so many chances to do so.
Nah, not tonight.
Well, you got to figure out how to look. If I can figure out how to play full on DCS from 45,000 feet over airplane Wi-Fi, you can figure out how to get your rig in a rental storage shed or something and fly with us.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna
only
try and-
Colorado. It's not like it'll be cold in there.
I'm just thinking that it's an indoor storage unit, so that helps.
Buzz
I'm gonna try and set it up
BSOD.
in my temporary space.
Well, I'm only giving you shit. You can go and do what you can do.
Yeah.
It's a 1-bedroom. Literally, I have to stuff all my stuff in the.
So you don't need a bed. Just sleep in your chair. What the hell?
That's true. Good
Yeah.
I forgot about the announcement.
And I'm shutting the stream down now.